we are golden.
Exactly. On this warm and steamy day.
That's putting it lightly.
So,
You know what else? You know what else has been on fire recently?
what's that?
Fucking One Piece.
Right?
Hasn't like the last couple of episodes broken records for top rated anime episodes of all time?
Yeah, like the ending of Kuma's backstory, and then with Saturn showing up or whatever is just they're setting records for anime, anime records.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's 9.9 for the last episode of his backstory, and then the next episode is a 9.8, and you're just like, yeah, if they want to take a 6 month break to do that, I'm alright with it.
Are they going on another 6 month?
No, but I'm just saying if for the start of Elbath, if it'd be hey, maybe not quite 6 months, but maybe a month or two, I'm alright with it.
More than okay.
I'm alright with it. I was honestly, it was always crazy to me that One Piece and just those animes that would just go week to week, every week, and you're just I don't know how you do it.
I don't get it either.
I don't know. It's crazy. I feel at some point you're just gonna go wild with it, and then yeah, that's kind of what happened. I don't know. I'm kind of glad they're. I mean, I think partially it's because of we're also just so close to the, where the manga's at. So it's just we don't want to. Yeah, it's we could keep going, but then we'd have to do filler, and we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Because we all know how filler goes with One Piece.
Some of the filler is pretty good.
Some of the filler is fun. Some of it's and other parts of it go, eh.
It'd be quite a tonal shift though, because it's if we went from Kuma's backstory to another run in with the Foxy Pirates or some bullshit like that. It's that's gonna be really jarring.
Yeah, that's why it's just let's avoid that, and also maybe fix a bit of pacing issues. Maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, I saw that and I'm just I have yet to watch the episodes, but I've seen clips of them and boy, they are fucking beautiful. So, yeah.
You want to give us an update to what was a really poorly timed...
Well, it wasn't really necessarily poorly timed. It's just that a lot of the predictions I had for the deadline, and as of this moment, we're recording this on Tuesday, so there's a few more days before the deadline is official or whatever. So it's because Suarez hasn't been traded yet, and now there's other shit, which is just hilarious to me, and also kind of sad. But it's so it was I said there's almost no way that the Yankees don't trade for Suarez, and they ended up trading for Ryan McMahon, citing defense rather than offensive capabilities. And you go, okay, McMahon's still got a decent bat. My only problem is that he played the majority of his games at Coors Field, and because Colorado has such high elevation, it's ball tends to travel farther as a result of that. So it's easier to hit home runs at Coors Field. But then again, it's Yankee Stadium. That thing is built for, hitting home runs. So
yeah.
What does it matter? And it's oh, but the defense is going to be so much greater. And I go, yeah, but we'll see. So, I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. I'm wow, they traded for McMahon. I'm I would have thought they were going to go for Suarez. So, it's not great for when you're a Brewers fan and you're hoping that the Cubs do not trade for Eugenio Suarez. Although it's really funny because there's the thought that he goes back to his former team in the Cincinnati Reds.
That is interesting.
I just thought that was hilarious. So when I'm in reality, I would bet you it's probably going to be the Mets. The Mets are looking hard for a third baseman right now with a good amount of offensive. They don't care about defense as much, so I think Suarez is going to be the perfect fit for them. But who knows? My guess is probably like the fucking Phillies will trade for him for some damn reason or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Even though they've got Alec Baum over at third, who's streaky but good. So there's that. There's a bunch of actually stuff in baseball I kind of want to bring up real fast because it's kind of interesting. First one being a bit of a downer. So the closer for the Cleveland Guardians just got hit with a investigation for gambling on himself, and it has been placed under what do they say? I don't know, some list or whatever that means he basically won't be able to play for until like I think August 31st, and that's on top of another Guardians pitcher being under the same thing. Luis Ortiz got hit with that about a month ago for the same thing. Citing is just like, and I'm just like, whoa. Okay, well, one, he's definitely not getting traded now because nobody's gonna want that. Considering I don't think you're even eligible to be traded. Two, are the Guardians even going to want you at that point? Are you just going to be banned from baseball? It's happened multiple times if it's found out that it's true.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Could just be. Which is crazy to think when you are the best closer in baseball, or at least one of the best, and all of a sudden you get hit with that. And right now, if you're the Guardians, I'm sitting here going, sell it all. Sell it all. The season's over. We're done. It's like, realistically, that is true. Trade Shane Bieber, potentially even trade Stephen Kwan, and just go and just get as much back, and then maybe it really sucks to know that because Jose Ramirez he took a team-friendly deal to try and be competitive, and then all this happens on top of them not having a great season, and you just go, damn.
That's gotta fucking suck.
Yeah. My only concern is then right now is okay, there's been two pitchers that have been found like this. Is this? I was like, should the entirety of the Cleveland team be under subjection as well? Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe. Yeah.
That's don't really know. Can't really say.
Type of situations, yeah.
Yeah, it's you got to just be careful, and if it's so crazy to me that last year the Guardians were one of the most surprising teams in baseball, had one of the best bullpens, made it to the playoffs, challenged the Yankees to try and actually play in the World Series, ended up losing, but it was just and then this year they traded away their big first baseman or whatever, and then they're like, oh, we'll just run it back, except without Josh Naylor. And then they go, well, this didn't really work out. And Stephen Vogt won, manager of the year. And now it's and then you go, well, the manager isn't necessarily, to blame for off-field things like that. Mm-hmm. It's just I was blown away. I was like, oh, man.
Nuts.
Yeah. The other thing in baseball I wanted to talk about is the stuff between the commissioner of baseball, Robert Manfred, and Bryce Harper. Harper is the first baseman for the Phillies and is one of the superstars of the league, basically. And Manfred's been going around, reportedly been going around to all of the teams and stuff like that, and just talking to a bunch of guys. Because after the 2026 season, so not this season, but next season, the collective bargaining agreement between the players and the league is up. So, which could result in a lockout of the players. And then for old-time baseball players, you remember it back in the 90s, they lost an entire season because they couldn't agree on certain things. And people are thinking that could happen again in 2026 because there's just such a divide between Manfred and the players. And basically, when he was at the Phillies place or whatever, Harper sat there and was all nice about it, the entire thing, listened to Manfred and everything he had to say. And Harper clearly didn't like what he had to say and said, "Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of this fucking clubhouse right now." And just told him to leave. If that tells you anything about how the players feel about Manfred right there.
Yeah.
There is a lot of tension going on, and people are very worried that after the 2026 season, that 2027 will just be a full lockout year. And I want to point out specifically, it's not going to be because the players can't come to an agreement. It's because the owners won't fucking budge. That's what happened back in 1990. It's what's probably going to happen again, and it's going to suck. Now, there's a lot, and I'm not an expert on how everything that all the players want and all the owners want, but what it comes down to, and the main part that I think that it comes down to, is that, and my brother showed me a really great video of it from a former MLB player that was talking about it as well. It was just like how, especially young players, like players that are rookies that have these club controls, because when you come up as a rookie, the team has basically a few years where they can just renew your contract for so much more. Basically, it's like, I think there's a percentage that it goes up by every year from when you get paid prior to, if you don't have a contract and stuff like that. So, and then after some point, there comes arbitration hearings. While you're still a part of the team, a team can decide you're worth this much. But if you don't like that number and you think you could be worth so much more than that, the next year you go to what's known as an arbitration hearing, basically, which allows you to kind of make your piece of like, oh, well, I'm a big player and everything like that. Like, I think they're undervaluing me, so on and so forth. I don't really know how it all works out and everything like that, but that's generally how I kind of understand them to be. And basically, you do that for 6 years or so, and then you hit what's known as free agency, which everyone knows, where any team can just come sign you if you're not under contract. Now, the main thing with that is that because it starts at such a low value, considering for what some players come up to, like some players are phenomenal rookies or whatever, and they're getting paid like $30,000 or whatever, which is just like, oh, it's a lot of money in normal standards, but when you look at it, it's just like a player that literally is up another year gets paid like $300 million or $300,000, and you go, well, it's quite a difference.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's stuff like that. It's money numbers and everything like that. How much they can go, how much they can spend, and everything like that. And now that the owners want the salary cap the owners want a salary cap, which then prevents players from getting what they want is the max money and everything like that. And I'm generally of the mindset that if an owner wants to pay this much for a player, then why shouldn't they? It's like, it's one thing as for fans to look at it and go, oh, salary cap will be great because then you don't have the Dodgers spending $1 billion on all these guys or whatever to get them. But it's like, if the owner wants to spend that money and go over the luxury tax that badly, then they should be able to. It's kind of unfair, but ultimately it's probably better for the players.
It is better for the players. I am wondering, if we would have a sort of, situation like what's going on with the Lakers right now, where one team just tries using, money to, hoard all of, the really good talent.
I mean, that's the Dodgers. Like I said, no, the Dodgers legitimately spent $1 billion over the offseason. They got Rokai Senga, they signed and whatever, and, the amount of players that they signed and everything like that, when all is said and done, was over $1 billion. And you just go, holy shit. And so it's just like, but I think this season kind of shows that it doesn't, spending money doesn't necessarily mean success. It can, but it's not for baseball, because baseball is that sport where it's just like, because you play so many games that eventually, you you're just not going to win every game. So it's not like you're playing in the NFL where there's 17 games and then a team can go 17-0 and just waltz into the Super Bowl and just win it or whatever. And I think just how like baseball is in general, it's like for young players that are under club control, it's like the Dodgers can't get them unless they want to trade. So I don't know. Salary caps sound great, and they sound great for the fans, but when it comes to the players, they're not too happy about it. The other thing that they want is that Manfred wants the players to take what's called as revenue sharing, whereas basically instead of being paid your normal contract, you get a portion of the profits that and you're shaking your head because you're already getting to a point where I'm getting to. It's just like, and again, this sounds great in theory, but it's not because they're for a multitude of reasons. Basically, it comes down to what is considered revenue. None of it's reported at any way, shape, or form, and anything like that. And anything can be considered not revenue by any team. So, and it's just crazy because it's like you look at over the offseason, the Orioles talked about how they weren't profitable, yet there's no fucking way that the Baltimore Orioles were not a profitable team. That's just utter horseshit. You have some of the best young talent in the game. You were selling out constantly and everything like that. You're paying your players next to nothing because they're all rookies, and yet you're telling me you're not profitable? What the fuck are you talking about? It's bullshit. So there's a lot, and I don't want to get into it because it's going to be a whole conversation or whatever. If I find that video that I was talking to about, I will put it in the description of this former baseball player that was talking about, like, he was talking about his time when he was when he played baseball, everything that he did working with the Players Association, the Players Union, and everything like that to work toward getting a better collective bargaining agreement and everything like that, and ultimately how it fell through and stuff like that. But they sort of got what they wanted, but not nearly to the point of what they wanted. And it's a great one to watch. So if I can find it, I will definitely link it. So yeah, you can see why. You can see that, like, when Harper said, "Get the fuck out," no one's happy. So I'm like, enjoy baseball while it's here, because after 2026, it might be a year. We might be gone. We might not have it for a year. And I'm scared.
The minute you said that, I just immediately thought, like, to anyone that's worked in a kitchen before, and people say, and the idea of tip sharing comes up, you just know,
no.
Basically,
Yeah, no. It's not worth it. So, that's pretty much what was happening in baseball. It's like there's other trades that have happened or whatever. The whole McMahon one was a surprising one or whatever. I'm sure by next week when the trade deadline comes through, I'll have more to talk about. But for now, that's what I want to say about baseball. In other news, though, I was curious if you kept up with this what was it, war over gaming censorship when it comes to MasterCard and Visa.
I have. I've read a lot about that, actually.
Yeah, I was kind of keeping up with it or whatever. I sat down here and I read a little bit more about it, and I'm like, it's a lot.
So basically companies like Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, they're all trying to influence companies like itch.io,
Steam.
Itch, from what I hear, is they're at least working on something and they're getting something figured out. Whether that is exactly, I don't know.
Yeah.
I know not everything has just been, like, purged off the website yet. Don't ask me how I know that, but
I won't.
Certain games that have, like, adult content have been taken down, and I get how some people would be like, oh, well, it's just, pornography, who cares? it really is a lot more. Yeah, it's a lot more than that, and it's been done in the UK recently, I think, too, and people are pissed about that, where it's more or less about what the government and these companies are allowed to censor on the internet, and it's a very slippery slope.
Yeah, and that's the main issue. What it comes down to, it's like while you hear the idea of adult content being censored, especially with when it comes to, just like incest, rape, whatever type thing, like that's, you don't want that in like in games or whatever, and you go, but it's very vague at times.
It covers a lot more of what you would initially assume it would be. You think, because a lot of people are thinking like, oh, it's going to take down like all the, rapey games or whatever. It's fine. Who cares? But then it's just like certain language that they don't want in the game. It's like certain like scenes that they don't want in the game. If like a game has certain
or even
themes,
if something's implied.
If a game has something as much as certain like themes that these companies don't like, then they would be allowed to censor it. One of the biggest examples that I've heard of is, have you heard of the game Mouthwashing before?
No, I have not.
I'm going to see. I think it came out last year. It did. So last year, one of the biggest, like, not even just like indie horror, but like indie games that came out was a game called Mouthwatching. And one of the big, like, themes in that is one of the characters was sexually assaulted off screen. But because of these new rules that they've been talking about putting in place, that game might just become delisted. Nothing was shown on screen, but because it was implied, it may be vulnerable to stuff like this. Mm-hmm. And it gets into like legitimate, art that's being taken down just because it's like, oh, well, adult content, it's not good. Great game, not sure why credit card companies are trying to remove it. First review.
Yep.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on this?
I'm probably of the same mindset that you are, pretty much. It's just like, when you first read it, you think, oh, it's great. And then you really think about it, and you go, well, it's a little too vague. It's a little too much. Because if you think it doesn't hit a lot of games that are very mainstream, you'd be surprised in how many it could hit just by the wording alone or whatever type thing. It's like they were talking about, it's like, oh, Cyberpunk 2077 could get hit. Persona 5 could get hit because of the whole thing with like, oh, Kamoshida like implies of like having sexual relationships with a high school student.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like, just to put that into perspective, those are two great games that don't have anything to do with like adult or even like, rape games or whatever like that and stuff like that, but they would get hit by this because of that. And it's like, what? Or even like Baldur's Gate and stuff like that, where it's like, what are we doing here?
It's like all these things would instantly get hit by this new rule. I do want to say it's worth mentioning, like, things like this have gone through Congress and they've been shut down before. Mm-hmm. I think because of companies like Visa and Mastercard getting involved, that there's a lot more pressure to actually put it through this time.
Yeah, it's a lot scarier this time because there's the actual weight behind it this time. So.
And let's say this does go through. It's like the people that are like, it's just getting rid of all the filth. It's not a big problem. It's fine. Even going above just like, the sex stuff, they could go even further, where it's like, well, one day it's just like the rapey stuff, and then it's like, then it's all sex stuff. Then it's like, well, this game is too violent, or they swear too much.
Mm-hmm. Then we go into
it's like
what is considered what like. There's like adult games, and then there's like mature games, basically, where is kind of have just more of the darker themes or whatever type thing, or just like more violent or whatever. And it's like, to think that like even something like Call of Duty could be hit by that just because it shows like violence of war type thing, like it legitimately could, though. That's the thing.
That is the thing, and I think this is something worth talking about and something worth worrying about. It pains me that this is a decision that will like greatly affect the American people. Yet this is something that we as citizens aren't able to vote on. It's going to be done through like people in Congress and stuff like that. And the reason I hate that is because I think now more than ever, it's becoming more and more obvious just how corrupt people in those positions are.
And just like, oh, here's a lot of cash, do what we want. And I'm like, okay.
And it's like these banking companies like Visa and Mastercard that want these things done. And you think they're not just going to pay these people off, you're crazy. Well, it's like, well, they're supposed to represent us. They're supposed to keep us safe. And it's like, when there's money on the table...
Wonderful idea.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. That's how it's supposed to work.
That's how it's supposed to work. But in reality, it's not necessarily how it goes.
No. Pretty much, like, not ever. It's incredibly sad.
Yeah. I don't know, like, you see, it's just like, yeah, you're right, because it's like, oh, we, the public, do not have any sway about it or whatever. But it's like, get out there and voice opinions. Like, honestly, legitimately.
Oh, yeah. Like,
if you want to do something about this, is like, call your congressman, write to them. I don't know, do something about it or whatever. Have discussions online.
Local representatives. Yep.
Exactly. It's just like,
voice your dissatisfaction.
It's just like, we get what this is trying to do, but it's going to have greater implications that these old guys in Congress and everything like that will not understand, will not get at all, and it will negatively affect the gaming sphere and everything like that for ever, basically.
Well, just the entertainment sphere in general.
Yeah,
it
starts with gaming, and it'll go more towards like entertainment then.
The more that you allow these like members of government to censor and like control what people see and what they hear, the worse it's going to be for everybody. Because what if it even goes down a route of it's like, okay, any speech where people are talking like bad about the president, that shit needs to be shut down. They just shut down the this really doesn't have much to do with it, but they just shut down the Colbert Show, which was like the most popular like late night television show there was left, basically.
Yep. All because of certain views that he would have and share on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Not all, but it's like, what are we doing here? What are we doing?
Unreal, yeah. We don't have to get to this yet, but can we talk about South Park this episode?
I was wondering. I figured we were going to get to that at some point. Holy hell! Yep, the shots fired at Trump. Holy crap!
You want to just move straight on to that one then, or
honestly, that's all I've seen. I don't watch South Park or anything like that, so that's really all I know.
So basically, because of this like merger that they had, Trey Parker and Matt Stone have been like delayed because of this merger they have with Skydance or whatever. Apparently, also like the entire trailer they have for the next season was fake. They're like, we need a trailer for next season. We don't have anything, so they just kind of made shit up.
That's awesome.
What they think is going to be in the season. It's awesome. But in the first episode, they made sure like all these contracts are signed, and I think it's because of like their parent company Paramount has been bending the knee to Trump so much. They know that they're their big breadwinner, so they just went full on attack and portrayed Trump as a tiny dicked dude that's sleeping in bed with Satan and is threatening to sue everybody. there's a part where because Jesus is literally in schools now, and he's like, he there's one part where he's just like mouthing the words, "You need to shut the fuck up. Trump's gonna shut us down. Paramount's gonna get rid of all of us. Shit is over." Like all this other bullshit. And the episode ends with a deep-faked Trump walking through the desert while slowly taking his clothes off. And again, his tiny dick comes out and starts talking like, President Donald J. Trump approves of this message.
Jeez.
And even
wow.
They are just like begging, they're egging the president on, being like, "Oh yeah, come sue us. We fucking dare you." And they apparently said, like, if that is the, like, only or the last episode of the show, then they're fully prepared for that. They said in the past the only reason they're going to go off air is if basically somebody forces them to do so.
Good.
It's just crazy. It's like all these people are just kind of, like, dancing around the issue, but Trey Parker and Matt Stone, they're just going full on, like, "Yep, this is happening. We're going to push as many buttons as we possibly can. Come sue us, bitch. We fucking dare you."
Paramount's just looking at it going, why did we do that? Why did we think this is a good idea?
Oh, man. Yeah.
Oh, man. There's a lot I want to unpack there, but I don't want to do that on this podcast right now.
No.
It's very funny. And just one, like, I'm just like, whoa. Because they're right on a lot of things. If not damn near everything.
I look at how we come to a point where our president is now shit-talking South Park rather than
dealing with actual fucking shit.
Exactly. Like he said, we don't need to get into that on this podcast.
I don't want to get into that. That's a whole discussion that will lead down to a further thing.
Yeah.
It's just going to put me in a bad mindset, and I'm just not going to want to do it. So we're just going to move right on past that.
You want to talk about the thing that went down last week?
Is that what you wanted to bring up last week?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
So, one of the biggest, like, talent agencies in streaming just shut down, basically. And I think she was, like... No, she was absolutely, like, the highest paid person on Twitch at that point. So, there... Two big, like, VTuber agencies so far have been HoloLive, which I think is either, like, I think it's Japanese-based, but I'm not too sure about that. Don't quote me. And the other one is VShojo, which, had VTubers like Kason, Iron Mouse, Melody VR. I'm sure you don't recognize any of these people that I'm talking about, but they are extremely popular streamers, made literally millions of dollars. And recently, all of their members just quit, left, and the entire agency shut down. And they left this whole, like, sob story about how, like, we really tried to raise money. We put all of our creators first, and basically everyone was like, "Oh yeah, no, that's all bullshit. These guys are fucking liars and thieves." Apparently, most of their talents haven't been paid since, like, mid-2024.
Jesus.
And the main one, Iron Mouse, again, she is still one of the, like, highest paid people on all of Twitch. basically every VTuber agency under the sun is trying to get her now, and she's like, I'm just going to be indie for a little while, guys. She had a charity where she raised over $500,000 for the IDF, the Immune Deficiency Foundation, which is a foundation that apparently helped save her life at one point. So this is very important to her. And Vsojo just pocketed that, and when people inevitably asked, because Iron Mouse did confirm, yeah, none of that went to the charity that I raised this for. So when people ask, it's like, oh yeah, we lost it, or it got lost in funds or whatever, and it's like, how do you lose $500,000?
It's a great question.
How does that just happen? Apparently, they still haven't paid her tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, and all these other talents, and it's fucking crazy, man, because they had everything that a talent agency and Twitch could ever ask for. They had a star-studded, I don't want to say cast, but set of streamers, people, talent. A bunch of them super popular. They held all these big ticket events, and they just, I guess, threw it away by mistreating all their talent and stealing a bunch of money. It's fucking crazy.
It's always these moments I sit here and going just why? Why the fuck would you do that?
That's what I'm saying. It's well, yeah, we can make a whole lot of money now by fucking stealing charity money, I guess. As if you're just
but think about it, if you just pay out from normally and do everything like you should, imagine how much more you could make. Exactly.
If they were in a position to keep bringing on talent every single year, because every big VTuber wanted to be a member of Vstrojo, right? So it's you're making literally millions of dollars a year. You're bringing in all this cash, and you can bring in even more every consequential year. And because you do what you do, you're just bleeding money every single year. You're a giant scumbag, and you paid for it. I don't get it, man. I don't freaking understand.
I don't think there is understanding it. It just sort of just fucking happened.
Mm-hmm. And I don't believe this bullshit where they're being oh yeah, there's literally nothing we could have done about it. We tried to raise funding and we just couldn't do it. It's fuck off, bro.
That's bullshit.
There are other streaming talent agencies. There are dozens of them, and if they're making it work, then you could have made it work. You had the highest paid streamer on all of Twitch. You don't get to make the excuse of we just couldn't find the funding.
Yeah. It's just
Justin claims to not know the purpose of the funds, but he personally congratulated Iron Mouse on the completion of her charity fundraising event and reposted Ludwig directly mentioning that half of the funds would go to charity. Unbelievable.
Hey. All right. It's just one of those moments where you just go, there's no words here. It kind of just speaks for itself, and you go, I don't know. Just blown away. It's when you're on top of the world, you're just sitting there going, just we got it all, baby. And then you just go, you know what we could do? We could throw it all away. And you go, but then, wait, why would we do that? Because we could. And that's what they did.
Apparently, it also says here that they were trying to pit their members against each other for whatever reason. I guess to create some fake drama or whatever.
What?
I don't know.
Like, did they just see like the fake rivalry that is old Achievement Hunter versus Funhouse basically, and all it was a running gag and not actually a fucking like rivalry in Rooster Teeth? And they're like, we can do that in real life.
I guess so.
What?
You're asking the wrong guy, okay?
I know. I understand. There's no answers here. There's only questions, and all we're gonna just go is why? Why would you? Yeah, it's pretty much all I'm gonna say from there, because I was like, I was like, well, the VTubers that they lost find new homes, or continue to work on their own or whatever, and find success.
From what I hear, most of them are just going indie, which, obviously, they have to do shit like, create their own events, make their own schedules now, but it's like, they're all like still super popular streamers. Oh, yeah. Like, I wonder, let's just see. Yeah, I don't think any of them are live right now.
Yeah, but I can assume that they'll be just fine.
Yeah,
with whatever it is they do from here. So,
like, even one of their lesser popular talents here, Jesus, they averaged like over 100,000 people showing up like each stream.
Yeah, I think they'll be just fine.
Like her lowest in like over a week is over 111,000 people.
Yeah, I think they'll be just fine.
Yeah, they'll be good.
All right, Al, I gotta ask you: have you heard of a game called Light of Mordrum?
No.
So, Sony is suing Tencent over an upcoming game called Light of Mordrum.
Oh yeah, no, I immediately know what you're talking about now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like watching. I was like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, yeah. I mean, looking at the key art, it looks very, very similar, and stuff like that. And then you watch the trailer and you go, you didn't even try, did you? Huh?
Is it like that similar to?
It starts out
Horizon
kind of
Zero
like
Dawn?
It's like it starts out with like a mix of like Horizon meets like Destiny, I guess, just because they have like these little like the Destiny ghosts basically that like fly around and scan shit and stuff like that. And then you get to the actual like gameplay, and it's like
Monster Hunter actually.
Yeah, I guess it's like, but it's like it's like one for one. It was like the enemies look exactly the same. The shots are almost identical from like the trailers from Horizon Zero Dawn, and you just go, huh? Oh man, I just saw this earlier today, and I was just like, huh. I also didn't know, like, that game was announced apparently over a year ago or whatever, and it's like coming out like next year, and Tencent is publishing it or whatever, and I'm just like, I've never heard of this, never even crossed paths or anything like that, and it's just like, what? It's like the world is very similar and everything like that. It's like the post whatever where it's like, technology kind of destroyed everything and it's taken over, and it's just like the characters themselves are very similar looking for like and I was just like
They do just have like the Destiny ghosts. That's so funny,
right?
Yeah. I hate it because it is just a straight up ripoff But at the same time, it looks so much worse too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see why Sony wants to sue these guys. I'd be pissed too.
Sony says that they want to do that for multiple reasons, because when they announce the next Horizon game, they don't want it to be confused with this game, basically, is what they say, and stuff like that, and blah, 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 blah. But, like, we all know it's just because, it's like, it's just one for one, like, basically the same game.
Well, remember, too, like, the next Horizon game is technically, from what I remember, going to be an MMO, right? It's going to have, like, a lot of these elements that they're showing off in the trailer. Like, I'm willing to bet it's going to have shit like base building and, like, all this other shit that they're showing off. So it's, like, it's going to make people even more, like, confused. It's like, oh, damn, is, this the Horizon MMO or whatever? And it's like, to an untrained eye, it looks like it. So, yeah, I'd be pissed, too.
It's always so interesting because you always see, like, these games that kind of, you don't always necessarily get, like, them copying AAA games or whatever, like, especially like this and this so closely from one another. But I know there's a lot of indie games, which I oftentimes say is just, like, that I can tell where you got your inspiration from, and you didn't really do the best job at, like, kind of making it your own. It's, like, basically the same game.
Yeah.
And while that's not the worst, it's just, like, I'm surprised that they get away with it as much as they do. So it was only a matter of time, I feel like, before something like this would happen. Because it's like, but of course it's something for Tencent, and I'm just like, why do I feel like I've seen this before? Or why do I feel like this is a reoccurring thing I think I've heard of?
Yeah, I feel like if it wasn't a company like as big as Tencent, like if this is like a small person team where it wasn't getting a whole lot of publicity anyway, like Sony wouldn't really give a shit. The fact that it is like a big company like Tencent and it is just such an obviously blatant ripoff, it's like, how did they ever imagine that they were going to get away with this?
I don't know. It's like I was originally looking at it and just going like, I don't know. I was just like, I was watching them for a little bit and I was just like, I don't know. And it's like, I mean, yeah, it looks very similar, but then you get to the whatever and you're just like, it just kind of doesn't like. And then I just kind of kept watching it. And I was just like, ooh, actually, you know what? that looks like the game. That is just Horizon right there. All right, never mind. I take it all back. Like, how many people from Tencent looked at that and just go, oh yeah, Sony's not going to be mad we're doing this, and then just decided, oh yeah, we could absolutely do this. I'm like, what are you smoking?
Probably the same thing as the people that made Atlantic Rim were. Those kind of fucking movies.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like it's easy to make a ripoff, just like change the homework a little bit and, call it yours.
Sure. Don't know how well that's going to work when you're going up against, Sony. But you can go right ahead and try for all I care. To be honest with you, couldn't happen to a better company. I mean, everyone hates Tencent, so
yeah.
I can't think of a single person that has talked positively about Tencent that doesn't work for Tencent.
It's not like stuff like this is particularly new either. No. It's been a while since I think we've gotten something like this blatant, though. One of the things that immediately comes to mind is, remember like the early to mid 360 era where everybody was trying to create their own version of Halo?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we had shit like Haze, and that's eventually where Killzone came from.
Mm-hmm. I do remember that. It's just crazy when you think about it, because it's just like, we have like, still the ongoing battle between like Pal World and Nintendo going on, and then they're just like,
is that still happening?
It's been going back and forth or whatever type thing. There's not really been any deciders or anything like that. It's been a lot of just like, we're going to fucking do it. We're going to fucking do it. And we're going like, then fucking do it, you little bitches. And Nintendo's over here like, shit, they're not folding. They're not folding. I don't know if that's necessarily the truth. I just know that I read something about it like, what was it, a couple weeks ago or whatever. It was like Pal World said they're not, after their like most recent update, they're like, we still feel, plenty good about the game or whatever type thing. We're not worried about Nintendo or anything like that. So it's just like, we're going to keep doing our thing until Nintendo is going to put something on the table that we're really concerned about. We're just going to keep developing the game.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, even funnier, apparently Tencent came to Sony wanting to license out the Horizon IP.
Yep.
They said no.
Yep.
So I guess they made this instead.
Yep. And that's
why?
And that's also partially why this is included into that. It's just like, oh, you didn't let us publish Horizon? Well, guess what? We're going to do it ourselves then in another game that looks exactly the same as it. And we're not going to get in any trouble whatsoever. And they go, I'll have what he's having.
I mean, the balls to just frickin' do that are fucking huge, but man, oh man, oh man, oh man, I'm not sure what you were thinking, but
the balls might be big, but when you got a tiny micro penis, it doesn't really work out. It's like Trump size. It's crazy. I had to throw that in there. I was just like, all right, we said it. Yeah. I gotta throw it in there.
So, how do you think this is gonna go? Do you think Tencent's
Tencent's fucked?
They're obviously gonna try and fight it, but I think they're
a bajillion-dollar company. Of course, they're gonna fucking do it. It's like, we might not win, but we're going to make Sony spend as much money as humanly possible. Or we might just win because Sony will be like, you know what? It's not worth the fucking fight anymore. Because you don't think Tencent's absolutely got like, it's like, oh, we know who to call up. We got the guys coming up and rolling up. They're so fucked.
No, I think Tencent has fuck you money, but that's all they really.
That's what I mean. No, that's what I mean. It's like that. These are the guys that will just say fuck you, basically, and then draw this out as long as possible, making Sony spend as much money as possible, to the point it's grinding them out to where we're like, I don't know if we want to keep fighting this because it's just such a pain in the ass and such a money sink at this point. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
Not because they can't win. It's because Tencent will just go like, it's like, yeah, good job, boys. Way to grind out nothing.
So are they allowed to put this out before like that lawsuit concludes?
I have no idea. I don't even. Is there even a release date for it?
That's either going to like help or tear their case apart. Let's see if there's a release date. Oh, here we go. Like release date. It is slated for 2025. It's
cool.
All it says here. We're in month 8, almost in month 9 of 2025, though.
And there's no release date whatsoever. And I go, Jesus, man. I just see more of the screenshots. I'm like, what? What the hell?
Dude, all you need to do is, like, look at the cover art.
Like, yeah, it's just like, look at the cover art and everything like that. Then you look at, like, the little clips and everything like that, and you go, huh?
Do you think they approached Sony with the idea of using the IP with the expectation that they're going to be like, oh, yeah, they'll be fine with it. It's whatever. We're Tencent.
Yeah, I mean, we're Tencent.
And after Sony said no, they were like, well, shit, we already did all this stuff.
well, hey, you know what?
I guess we'll hope they just don't sue us. Yeah.
It's like, you know what? We're 10 cent. We got fuck you money, so we're going to do this. And even if we don't end up winning, it'll cause Sony a lot of grief and money and everything like that. It'll all be worth it in the end because we don't care. We don't care.
It's funny, too, because like we both mentioned how they have like a ghost-like thing, which is from another property that Sony owns.
Sony now has, yeah.
Yeah. I want to know, is this screenshot real? Is this legit? Because, or did somebody just edit a ghost into? Let me an AVI. God damn it! Fuck you, Google. Oh my god. Okay, I'll show you later.
Yeah.
Because it looks like somebody just ripped a ghost from Destiny and put it in. They couldn't have even used like a cover character that looks less like Aloy. Like,
right?
They're showing characters with bow and arrows aside from like literally other weapons this game has. I don't know. I don't.
I just wonder sometimes, but then again, when you're 10 cent, nothing has to make sense. So we can just make it a nice short one this time.
You think so?
Yeah, I think I'll have plenty to talk about probably with like baseball next week anyway. Trade deadlines and everything like that. Brewers right now are playing against the Cubs. You know, for battle of first place. It's like they won game 1 yesterday. Mm-hmm. They won game 1 yesterday, and now they're playing game 2 probably right about now. So let's see live scores.
Fuck the Cubs. Oh, we're winning.
We are winning 2-1.
It's only two. It's only third inning, but
yeah, still early. And I see the Cubs are threatening to score here again, so that's fun.
Oh wait, what is this? First predicted to replace Blockbuster Trade Prize? What?
I don't know what that means, but it's always funny trying to listen to all these, like, you know, ESPN and stuff like that about like, oh, what are the Brewers gonna add or whatever type thing, and I go, I don't think anyone had Danny Jansen on their list because they just decided to make that trade with the Rays.
Fanside's Owen Jonas had Ortiz as the Brewers' most likely player to be replaced at the trade deadline.
I mean, yeah, that's because he has the lowest OPS and is the most streaky hitter. So that doesn't surprise me that they have that. It's like, oh, there's potentiality the Brewers trade for either a third base or a shortstop and then kind of shift around the infield a little bit because you can put Durbin at shortstop where that's his primary position. You can put Terang because that was his primary position over there. You can move Durbin over to second then and then make room for a new third baseman or whatever. And I go, I mean, yeah, but The thing with Durbin is that he is such a streaky hitter, or not Durbin, Ortiz, is that he is such a streaky hitter, but he does he plays really solid defense at shortstop. He's above in my mind, he's an above average shortstop defensively. Oh, and when he's hitting, man, he is hitting. It's just like and like Pat Murphy always talks about, is that he just kind of feels like he falls asleep in the middle of at bats. He watches fastballs right down the middle, and I'm like, swing the bat, man! Swing the bat! Come on, man! Like Murphy's trying to keep. So it's like Ortiz has been benched many a times because of that, and Murphy's made it pretty obvious. It's an old school mentality of kind of how I'm doing it or whatever. It's like, you know, post game interview, Murphy will talk about it. It's like, oh yeah, I noticed you took out Ortiz in like the 7th inning or something like that. It's like, and Murphy's, you know, most managers would kind of just go like, oh, you know, just give him a bit of rest type thing or whatever. Wasn't quite feeling it. That type thing. Mm-hmm. It's like Murph's like, oh, he's falling asleep at the plate. You know, we can't be having that. We need everyone contributing to this team if we want to win. So when he's watching pitches down the middle, kind of falling asleep at the plate, it's not great. So, and he was received a good amount of flack, but it's kind of worked. It's getting those guys to buy into that system, and I feel like everyone on the Brewers team has kind of bought into that system, and it's working, man. It's like, I think I talked about it last time, but it's like Andrew Vaughn literally comes over from the White Sox, one of the worst hitters, like got sent down to AAA with the White Sox, despite being one of their former first-round picks, comes over to the Brewers, immediate impact. It's like a whole 180 switch with him. It's like he's hitting balls harder than he's ever had. He's swinging at better pitches, falling off pitches, hitting home runs, and you're sitting here going just like, what? Who is this guy? This looks like an entirely different hitter, and it's crazy. I don't know. It's like when people talk about like, what does it take to be a winning team or whatever. It's like it's not only do you need to have talent, but you need to have leadership and you need to have the mindset to win. And that cannot be stressed enough, because you see teams, the Braves are a great example of this. They have all this talent over there in Atlanta, for the Atlanta Braves. You got Ronald Acuna Jr., Matt Olson, Austin Riley, Spencer Strider, and like Marcelo Zuna, Ozzy Albies, all these great guys, and they're not winning. They are one of the biggest disappointments, along with the Orioles as well. It's like they have all this talent over there, and they're just not winning because they don't have that mentality. They don't have that mindset. And it's just like Murph brings that. Even if he's playing a bit of tough love, he brings that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Sometimes it's all it can take. But if Ortiz ends up losing, playing time over, whoever they get or whatever type thing, it'd be a wake-up call. It'd be like, all right, I got to play better if I want to get back into the rotation again, if I want to get back into the lineup again. It's like last year he was at third base because we had Adames over at short, and he was playing well, and he did well or whatever type thing. So and that's why we thought moving him over to shortstop, where his natural position wouldn't be that much of a difference, but he's just falling asleep. I love Joey O, though. I love Joey O, though. I want him to be good, though.
Me too. I'm just fucking terrified that the Brewers rocking the boat too much. I'm like, we're doing good now. I want to keep that streak going.
I mean, that is the worry, especially when like trades come up or whatever. It's like when trade deadlines come up or whatever, it's like teams feel the need to make moves, and it's like sometimes you just need to stay the course. Like, obviously, if you have shortcomings or whatever, and I'm not saying the Brewers don't have shortcomings, like we said, shortstop position is pretty available, but there's not a whole lot out there we can get that would really help for what the Brewers want to pay for it. And I go, that's why it was so surprising with Vaughn or whatever. It's like, oh, Savali wanted out because he didn't want to be in the bullpen. That's fine. We have a surplus of pitching anyway. Let's just get something back for him. Got back Vaughn. Expected nothing of him, and he's been playing so good. This is why Milwaukee Brewers fans will call him King Vaughn, because no one expected him to play like this.
Hell yeah!
All hail the king. He might be balding at 28 years old, but he is our king. Anyway, thank y'all so much for listening to another episode of that It Never Ends. I almost said that's just gamer talk. God damn it.
I was going to say, man, I'm balding at 28 years old.
And you know what?
I can relate.
You're a king.
Thanks, man.
You're the podcasting king.
Fuck no. Absolutely freaking not. Are you kidding me? I'm Alex. That's my buddy Andrew. We like talking bullshit about, bullshit every single week. If you're joining us, thank you so much. If you're listening, If you're listening to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, be sure to leave us a nice little rating there. It always helps out. If you're watching this on YouTube, maybe leave us a comment. Tell us about your friends. Or tell us about your friends.
Tell us about your friends. Yes, tell us all about your friends. We'd love to hear.
We want to know all about your friends.
All about them.
Names, addresses, social security numbers. Yep. It's all open.
Hey, and if you have $1 million and you want to just buy this podcast so that way we just do it for you, like in your home, I'm okay with that.
We need the money to, fight off the Trump lawsuit because we said he had a tiny dick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, listening, and we'll catch you, gentlemen and ladies, on the next one.
Yeah. Bye-bye.